Hey, this week I'm gonna talk about what musicians and bass players can learn from the song One Armed Scissor by At the Drive-In. I first came across this song quite early through my neighbor who introduced me to loads and loads of good music. Now as a kid I grew up listening to Queen, Bon Jovi, ABBA and Ace of Base, and when I first heard At the Drive-In I was like, what is this noisy, out of tune, aggressive assault on my ears, and how can I get more of it? Now there are other videos that go through this song as a whole, but I want to focus on the different functions that the bass track has. Psst, did you know that you don't just have to play the root note in a song, you can do different things as a bass player? I'm gonna go through this song section by section and tell you why you should steal all these moves in your next song. Let's go! The track begins in 4/4, but then it drops into the 3/4 time signature in the verse. And initially the verse begins with this hits, and the bass is just reinforcing the kick drum. While in the second part it has this descending melody line, and if you think about it, it's almost the only melody in the verses, since the vocals are just shouting this one note. And I think the bass is the lead instrument of the verse section. In the chorus, the track goes back to the 4/4 time signature, and all of the instruments starts following the start-stop rhythm. And this creates tension, which is then released in the second part when Cedric is just screaming and the instruments are creating a eighth note foundation for the mayhem. Here the function of the bass is to reinforce all of the other elements, and everything melds into this big machine of pleasant destruction. In the interlude, the bass goes back to remind you of the descending melody and remains the only recognizable melody of that part. So this is the hook of the verses. In the second verse, the bass changes again. The bass goes into this danceable, almost funky, sparse, but also evolving groove with the drums, while the guitars create this uneasy atmosphere on the sides. Then, in the latter part of the verse, the tension builds into this call-response dialogue, and the danceability goes away. Here the bass adds weight to the unison hits, which is emphasized with the empty spaces between the hits. Finally, in the interlude, the bass becomes this synth-like, constant droning layer that gives the guitar space to create these atmospheres. And here finally the vocals have the main melodic role. And the part builds until it explodes into this caveman beat on the drums. Yeah, that's it. At the Drive-In, One Armed Scissor. What a song, what a band. Now take these moves and go create something of your own. See you next week.